Thank you very much. We'd allow the record to reflect that we have a quorum present, being 4 voting members and our superintendent, Dr. Schaefer, and one missing, Mr. Van Leer. So we do have a quorum for business. We have minutes to review from the March 9th, 2022 regular meeting. Has anyone had a chance to review the minutes? Are you willing to make a motion or any edits or?
I have read them and I will make a motion that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Motion by Mr. Glover,
Second.
second by Mrs. Monk. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Would you pass those down for me, please? Moving on to items for discussion for tonight on our agenda. We have an update on the southeast annexation area.
Yes, I just wanted to, let you guys know that since the letters went out to the property owners at the southeast quadrant of Danville, we have received a couple phone calls, one from 84 Lumber and then one from Ken Edmondson. They are interested, and I assume that we will probably be getting an application from them at some point in time soon.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
I think so.
Wonderful.
So that's the update. That's all the people that we've heard from so far.
Okay.
Out of how many? I can't recall. I mean,
Seemed like there was around 15 letters that went out. There were more properties,
multiple.
right,
People on multiple
yes,
parcels.
yeah. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for the update. Next bullet point under items for discussion, we have some, as an RDC, we have some annual requirements, key dates. Mr. Morgan.
To apologize, I'm here on behalf of our clerk treasurer, Jenny Piercy. She's not able to attend tonight. She has advised that she will make sure that she gets any information that needed to be reported, turned in, and if you have any questions, that you can feel free to contact her directly.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark, is that usually done by our financial advisor or
Baker Tilly?
Baker Tilly?
Sometimes it is. I think she's working to make sure that with them or whomever she's working with to make sure she can get that done.
Is that submitted through the portal?
I believe it is.
Okay.
I think just got an email from DLGF that it's I believe it is submitted through portal and due by the 15th.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I apologize about the microphones. We've been playing with them today.
I think you got them fixed.
We're working on it.
Okay. Let's move on in our agenda then.
Can I ask a question about
course.
the report?
Go ahead.
Okay, I know this is it's a June deadline, but did we, or have we in the past filed a long-term plan?
So I cannot answer that question.
Okay.
We hire people to do this for us.
Okay.
And hopefully they have.
I assume, I don't know for sure, but I assume that's what we did a couple of years ago when we designated the areas for economic development, but I don't know the answer to that either.
Okay.
We can send an email to Baker Tilly
Okay.
about that particular bullet point if you would like to get a direct answer on that.
Well, it says that we have to annually hold a meeting during which the following items are presented to the taxing units, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't.
And we have.
We have?
Mhm.
Okay.
We've held the meetings, yes.
Okay.
And notices go out to the taxing units.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good deal.
In my mind, I believe that we've met the requirements. Somewhere in my mind. It's way back there.
We have done those particular items. Anything else on there that you were interested in?
No, that was it. The
Have been,
long-term-
those
yeah,
two have
okay.
been done.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
And Baker Tilly has always done this for us, so I'm sure that anything that's required, they've handled.
They've done that,
Yeah.
okay. So one other question about Baker Tilly and just RDCs in general. When I spoke to Jenny a couple weeks ago, there's a person there by the name of Heidi who could come and talk to us about long-term and the whole big picture. And I was just wondering if now would be a time that we would be interested in having her come and talk to us and give a presentation, so we have some guidance.
I'm all for more information. What is your goal in doing so, if I can ask? Like, what do you,
What am I looking
specifically?
for?
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess just more knowledge on how to move forward. You know, we have the properties and, you know, just how to move forward, what we can and can't do, and financially, you know, how far on a limb can we go, and how to handle
Sure.
all of that. And I guess that kind of goes with the long-term planning kind of thing, too.
depending on how long each of us have been on this commission, we've had those conversations with the professionals in the past, but maybe you weren't sitting here at that time.
Do we have copies of, like, would they have given us presentations, and do we have copies of that anywhere?
Well, essentially, it's part of the Indiana code on what we are and are not allowed to do on this commission. It's all governed by the code.
Right, right.
And financing options, essentially, we can pursue financing options very similar to the town, through like, and Dr. Schaefer has some similar experience in this, just through the school. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. And, you know, it's done through bonding is what it's done. So we can secure financing and use bond revenue as the collateral to pay it back.
Okay,
And so it's all kind of related to that, is how our financing as a general category can work, how we can get money to to pay for projects.
Mr. President, I think, maybe to help a little bit, I do believe we received some documents during some of that initial training that might be helpful as well for you to be able to kind of walk through those. It gave, not in real specific terms, but it kind of gave some general concepts of things that RDC does. It was at my disposal, but early training session.
and I guess it's just me too. Sometimes it's easier for me to sit and read all the legalese stuff. So, yeah, that was it. Or just have somebody that you can interact with, ask questions.
We can make that happen. Yeah. Question, answer.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Okay.
So would you like that arranged for the next meeting, or do you want to just,
Let me, eventually, I think it is a good idea to bring them in at some point this year.
Okay.
And maybe we can do it at a time when we can knock out several things at the same time.
Yep, yes.
And so whenever that's most appropriate during our calendar fiscal year,
okay,
Yes,
for them to come in and talk, we can, instead of paying them twice.
Right.
Right.
We can just pay them once.
agreed,
so.
okay.
totally.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on then to item 3 on our agenda, the reports of officers, committees, and staff. And so at this point in time, I'd just like to open the floor to the commission. Anything on anyone's mind that they'd like to address tonight?
No. I did have, but second thoughts. I'll address them in private.
Very good.
The only other question I had was on paying right realty. Did we get the 10, 12% thing straightened out?
We did.
Okay, so
Yes.
it's 12 for sure.
It was the lower number. I don't have it in front of me, Linda.
So it was a 10%?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think what the original contract, or the contract came to us at 10 and or 12 and we asked for 10. That was acceptable.
Okay, good deal.
Just a kind of a future thought, and this may be more of a staff question, but in terms of as this commission begins to take on revenues over time, understanding what that reporting will look like, as far as board here being able to kind of see what those revenues look like on a quarterly basis and that type of thing. Just not quite sure what that looks like yet, because I know we're kind of in that developmental process.
Very good point. Yes. And so we all know, and just to reiterate, we do have annual income from the TIF districts we did create. So we do have an annual income from that gets reported. And there will potentially be other TIF opportunities on very specific projects, perhaps, as we move forward in the future. And so as it becomes more layered or complicated, it would be very good to have a report.
That's what I'm thinking, whether we have them monthly or quarterly, just to maybe have built in that financial report into the
Yes, I agree. Go ahead, Dave.
I forgot something. Has there been any update to the use variance? Just asking.
They have not submitted any additional information at the last, or at the BZA meeting last month. It was discussed about doing something with that overhead door that faces Main Street to make it permanent somehow. I've not received any additional information. The board packets went out today, so those are online, so you can read the staff's report.
They had an initial hearing and it got tabled. No decision was made. It'll be,
With the planning commission?
Board of Zoning Appeals, right.
so they'll revisit it this month.
Ben, that was my second thought, was that Ben and Linda and I'm on the BZA, and the attorney for Mr. Cupp suggested that he have a meeting with Ben Comer, and afterwards I started thinking, wasn't sure if that was totally appropriate. It's a BZA case being discussed by the redevelopment chairman, and it's different practices there. So I don't know if you've had your meeting or not, but
They have not reached out to me, and my conclusion was as that I think I've fulfilled my duty to the, as the RDC president with the presentation I made, that I don't have anything else to add. And his meeting with me, I agree with you. The meeting needs to be with the staff,
BZA and stuff.
with the staff. Yeah, so. Anyway, Linda and I were there. We just gave our perspective based on us sitting on this commission, and the BZA has their job to do, and they'll do it to the best of their ability for the best of the town. Right? Gary, any further thoughts on that, or
No,
am I missing? Do you agree with that position?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Staff,
And the BZA meeting is next Wednesday night at 5 o'clock, and that is on the agenda. I do not have anything else.
Mark? Anyone else in the audience like to speak? Okay. With that, I believe we've concluded our business for this evening. Thank you all very much for attending and being efficient. With that, I will adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.